It has long been assumed and passed around numerous steroid message boards that the cause of 19-nor-induced gynecomastia is prolactin, not progesterone stimulation. This has been argued heavily regarding the 19-nor-trenbolone, but with nandrolone as well. In his anabolics series, William Llewellyn explains how the imbalance between estrogen and progesterone is what leads to gynecomastia. If this is not addressed and you're merely combating a possible prolactin buildup, you may not be providing the protection you need. Number 2. Androgenic. Deca-Durabolin can produce androgenic side effects, however, the threshold tends to be rather high for most men. Possible androgenic side effects of Deca-Durabolin include acne, accelerated hair loss in those predisposed to male pattern baldness, and body hair growth. Such side effects are strongly dependent on genetic predispositions, but most men should find no problems exist. Unlike testosterone, nandrolone is reduced to DHN rather than DHT, and while this takes place due to interaction with the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, it greatly reduces the androgenicity of nandrolone. An important note regarding the androgenic side effects of Deca-Durabolin or any nandrolone hormone, many choose to use 5-alpha reductase inhibitors like finasteride to combat androgenic side effects brought on by anabolic steroids. However, the use of a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor along with Deca-Durabolin will enhance the steroid's androgenicity. It will actually have the opposite effect and increase the risk of androgenic side effects. The androgenic nature of Deca-Durabolin may lead to virilization symptoms in women. Virilization symptoms can include body hair growth, a deepening of the vocal cords, and clitoral enlargement. Women can use this steroid without viralizing effects, but it will require very low doses, and there are often better steroids for females to choose. If nandrolone is desired, faster-acting phenylpropionate may be the way to go as it's easier to control, but the odds of beating virilization symptoms are not as great as they are with steroids like Anavar or Primobolan. Regardless, if virilization symptoms occur, discontinue use immediately, and they will fade away. If such symptoms are ignored, they may become permanent. Number 3. Cardiovascular. Deca-Durabolin can have a negative impact on cholesterol by skewing the HDL and LDL ratios. This potential negative effect will be most prominent as it pertains to HDL cholesterol suppression. Studies have shown that the nandrolone hormone will actually have a stronger, negative impact on HDL cholesterol than testosterone. However, the total cardiovascular strain should be much less than most oral steroids. Due to the potential cholesterol issues caused by Deca-Durabolin, maintaining a cholesterol-friendly lifestyle during use will be extremely important. This should not only include a cholesterol-friendly diet, but one that is rich in omega fatty acids and that ensures you implement plenty of cardiovascular activity into your routine. It's also important to keep in mind that if you use an aromatase inhibitor when supplementing with Deca-Durabolin, you will need to give your cholesterol even more attention. Of all the possible side effects of Deca-Durabolin, this is the one you'll want to keep the closest eye on, and all are encouraged to keep a very close eye on their cholesterol throughout the duration of use as well as post-use. Number 4. Testosterone. Deca-Durabolin, like all anabolic steroids, is suppressive to natural testosterone production. The rate of suppression varies from one steroid to the next, but with Deca-Durabolin, and all nandrolone-based compounds, it will be extreme. Some studies have shown that a single 100 mg dosing of the steroid will suppress total natural production. Other studies, while they do not show near the rate of suppression, are still more than significant and often a representation of at least 2/3 ROD total reduction in serum testosterone levels. For this reason, all men who supplement with Deca-Durabolin should include exogenous testosterone. The form of testosterone you choose is of no consequence, all that matters is that your body is provided with the testosterone it needs. Failure to supplement with exogenous testosterone will result in a low testosterone condition. Such a condition can be quite bothersome, it comes with numerous possible symptoms but, more importantly, is extremely unhealthy. Once the use of Deca-Durabolin has come to an end and all the exogenous steroidal hormones have cleared your system, natural testosterone production will begin again. It will not occur overnight, and for this reason a post-cycle therapy (PCT) plan is often recommended. This will speed up the recovery process as well as improve the overall efficiency. No, contrary to popular myth, there is no PCT plan that will return your natural testosterone levels back to normal all on its own. Total recovery will take several months. However, a PCT plan will ensure you have enough testosterone in order for proper function while your levels continue to naturally rise. Important notes on natural testosterone recovery post-Deca Durabolin use. Natural recovery assumes no prior low testosterone condition existed. It also assumes no severe damage was done to the hypothalamic pituitary testicular axis (HPTA) due to improper practices. It is also important to note that a PCT plan should not begin until Deca Durabolin has been discontinued for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Most will find ending their Deca Durabolin use before the total conclusion of their cycle to be the best way to go. Number 5. Hepatotoxicity. Deca Durabolin is not toxic to the liver and will present no stress or damage to the vital organ. Deca Durabolin administration. Deca Durabolin is a very slow-acting steroid that does not have to be injected all that frequently. In most therapeutic treatment plans the compound is only administered once every 2 to 4 weeks, with every 3 to 4 weeks being far more common. The exception would be in the treatment of anemia. When treating anemia, Deca Durabolin is normally administered once per week. For any performance-related pursuit, a single injection per week will be more than suitable. However, some will choose to split this up into 2 small injections per week in order to cut down on the total injection volume. The standard dosing range for Deca Durabolin normally falls in the 100 mg every 2 to 4 week range for basic therapeutic treatment and 100-200 mg per week for the treatment of anemia. For the athlete looking for rejuvenation and relief, 100 mg per week is a fine starting point, but most will be much happier with 200 mg per week results. Such a dosing will ensure recovery, relief, and endurance are all enhanced as well as provide a slight anabolic boost. For true anabolic gains, 300 mg per week is normally considered the low-end dose. Many will find 400 mg per week to be the perfect dosing level, and more importantly, well within a controllable level. Many men may be able to tolerate doses as high as 600 mg per week. This will increase the risk of adverse effects, and often 400 mg per week is more than enough, but varying circumstances will dictate the individual outcome. Deca Durabolin should not be used for less than 8 weeks when used as a performance-enhancing tool. The compound is extremely slow-acting, and the individual will need to use it for an extended period of time to reap a reward. 8 weeks should be the minimum, but once discontinued the compound will still be active in the body for several weeks. As 8 weeks is our minimum, 10 to 12 weeks will be very acceptable for most men. Use can stretch past this point but is rarely recommended. Most will not implement cycles much longer than 12 to 16 weeks outside hardcore performance circles, and in those cases, a rotation of steroidal hormones is highly advised. For female athletes, 50 mg per week for no more than 4 to 6 weeks is normally all that can be tolerated. There will be some who may be able to handle a 100 mg per week dosing, but such a dose will normally produce virilization symptoms in most women. For standard therapeutic treatment plans, Deca Durabolin will normally be administered at 50-100 mg every 3 to 4 weeks. In the treatment of anemia, 50-100 mg per week is standard. Availability of Deca Durabolin. Deca Durabolin is readily available on the pharmaceutical and black markets. However, you will not find a Nandrolone compound currently manufactured by a U.S. pharmacy. Further, Organon has completely removed Deca Durabolin from the U.S. market, focusing all its attention on other markets around the world due to the U.S. laws surrounding anabolic steroids. Any Nandrolone legitimately obtained in the U.S. will be imported. The black market supply of Nandrolone is high in most countries around the world, including the U.S. However, while counterfeits do not overwhelm the market, they have been a problem. The original Deca Durabolin should be easy to find on the black market, as well as Greek Normal Hellas and Alpha Pharma's Nandrobolin, among numerous other brands. Deca Durabolin conclusion. Deca Durabolin is one of the most effective and beneficial anabolic steroids of all time. Most men will tolerate this steroid quite well, and while it benefits the most advanced steroid user, it will be a great steroid for someone relatively new to supplementation. In order to appreciate Deca Durabolin, consider the history of anabolic steroids. There have been numerous anabolic steroids that have appeared over the last 75 years, and through that time Deca Durabolin has remained atop the list. Its popularity has not waned, and there hasn't been another steroid made that could surpass it when it comes to its specific functions. For many anabolic steroid users, it is considered essential to off-season mass-gaining plans. In fact, there may be no stack as popular as a simple testosterone, Dianabol and Deca Durabolin. Without question, the therapeutic benefits of Deca Durabolin cannot be ignored. Such benefits have largely been ignored in the US, but many physicians are beginning to come around. The benefits of this steroid in this regard are seemingly limitless.